Ladies, gentlemen, people of all ages, welcome to the LTBC round 3 recap of the evening. Now, listen, we've got a lot to cover tonight. I'm going to try to be respectful of y'all's time. We got to get going. But first, there are some things that we have to talk about that are very important. And that is, we need to say thank you to some very special people that helped put this thing together. First and foremost, we need to say a big thank you to John Manson. If you're here watching this and you don't know who John Manson is, you should be ashamed of yourself. John created a Sea of Red 11 years ago. Man, he has been instrumental in building up this community, giving us this platform to be able to have these kind of interactions with other fans, this community to fan the flames together. It's been a great thing. We need to all say a big thank you to John. He's a great guy, awesome dude. Doesn't answer my DMs, but that's neither here nor there. Second person we need to say thank you to is Zach McLaren. Zach, man, he works hard, does some graphics for a Sea of Red, tweets out the brackets. He makes sure that creates the brackets, updates the brackets, make sure they're right in front of you when you need to see them. The other duo that's part of that team is Christian Taylor, my man, CT Cashing Tickets. He's out here tweeting out the brackets right at 9 o'clock. So we have those final results ready when they need to be. And finally, last but not least, the Fraud Detection Committee. Man, they have been on top of things this challenge, this LTBC challenge, this February Madness, whatever it is. They've been on top of things. They've been catching fraud left and right. They've been doing what they do. A special shout out to CJ Sweat and Jeremiah. They've been extra vigilant, let's say, in watching those votes and checking up on things. And finally, last but not least, all the participants, the voters, everybody who's willing to come out here and make great content, be entertaining. Thank you very much. It's awesome. It's a pleasure to read and watch everything that's going on Twitter. It's a lot of fun. So a little bit of fun before we begin officially talking about the bracket. Let's go ahead and get this slideshow started. First and foremost, we had Give Me Liberty talking about CFAW dads trying to operate the Freedom Tower elevator. This is funny. You see, I'm not there during CFAW this time, thank goodness. But that's a good tweet. That's a solid tweet. Next, we have something we need to talk about. This is Duke exited in the first round. Tweeted out this thing. His was about the purpose of the tweet was getting rid of the Nikki Haley text, et cetera, politics. But what we need to talk about is if you take a close look at the top left of this screenshot, I meant to zoom in, which is why there's an empty space over here, but it's on me. We have a group chat called Crackers in Lynchburg. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but have a strong suspicion that Mr. Swizzle Sr.'s in there. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, moving on. We had an appearance of the Did Liberty Win chart, which, let me tell you, I'm surprised we got 3 rounds in before it came up, but it did eventually come up, and DLW, he's keeping us in order, keeping us in check, making sure we're fanning the correct fandom. Now, we started off this morning with some Bucky's beef, interestingly enough, between CJ and Jeremiah. There were some bribery attempting to happen with some Beaver Nuggets. There were some other things happening. It's just lot was going on for some reason. Now, speaking of Mr. Shizzle, CJ put up a video of a performance review with him this morning. I don't know if it looked this way to everyone else, but the 4 pixels that I got in my video made it very difficult to see anything. But we have confirmed some kind of connection there. Apparently working at the same mortgage company. Mr. Shizzle's promising to keep those rates low for you. So if you need to buy a house, you know where to go. CJ also today went on a tear in the morning time. He was trying to secure some votes. He was trying to make a win. He had a big opponent to overcome, Miss Kathy. So he decided to just bump up all the hashtags he could. Get eyes on this tweet. I didn't actually include it in the screenshot. I didn't see how much the official, I didn't see if it even worked, how many views that tweet got, but maybe it worked, maybe it didn't. You'll find out here at the end. Unfortunately, as we continue through the day, Mr. Sweat decided to hang up the cleats. He decided he was going to retire from the bracket challenge. It's his 4th year participating. He said that he enjoyed it. It's the best engagement of any group of fans that he's ever seen. He loves being a part of it. Also, big tip of the hat, of course, John, Chad, Richie, putting this together, making sure everything runs smoothly. So he's hanging up the cleats, but before he left, he did wanted to make sure that that invitation to twerking was still there. So, if Alan, if you're reading this or watching this, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but the people would love to see it. All right. Next on the docket, we had Mr. I was going to try to say his name, but I can't say it, or his actual tag, Turtle Power 98. He came out with a video in the morning. Mind you, this man had surgery yesterday or 2 days ago. I mean, he's pushing through the Valium right now, churning out content. This is called dedication, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this man, he's here to win. He's got the Liberty stuff hanging up in the back. He's wearing the jersey. He's got the hat on. He's got the sunglasses on. I mean, he's here. This is a competitor. This is a competitor right here. Now, he put out this video, and then him and Nick were going back and forth, trying to prove their Liberty fandom to one another. Turtle came in with the dunk here, tossed the lob to himself, caught it 2 hands, just jammed it in. It was a heck of a tweet, a little bit of a dagger, but it was great. CJ, also, this is a little out of order, but I thought this was a humorous tweet. Pretty sure my whiskey collection costs more than your single wide. This is just a great little snippet of who CJ is. If you don't follow CJ and you don't like seeing your Twitter inbox or in timeline filled, do not follow CJ. But if you do like seeing your Twitter timeline filled with random fights with any and every fan base, CJ's a great follow. Listen, I'm telling you, the man picks a fight with a brick wall and then wins it every time. Every time. It's good. It's comedy. It's entertainment. Now, moving on to the next matchup, we had KC versus going up against not JB's Trap Phone. Now, KC started off this little engagement by posting a video talking about, I don't even know what an alpha male is, but I'm the OG Twitter. I'm the OG Liberty fan, right? That was the gist of the video. It was a strong video. Good to see him out here making videos, making content for the LTBC. Now, then the alpha males, I mean, they took personal offense to that. So they said that he's trying to start a war. They're gonna have to take their efforts away from dealing with whatever breakout is happening on Liberty's campus to do some fight or to fight some sickness that's going on. Again, hashtag blessed that I'm not there during Seafall weekend. That sounds like an absolute nightmare. But as things on the internet do, this led to a little miscommunication, and we got into a thing where the alpha males are, doing their thing, and KC is starting to, blur the lines between reality and a joke. In the end, and so is Buddy. In the end, Buddy, KC, listen, these guys, they're just out there yanking your chain. It's just how they talk. It's all love. It's all fun and games. Don't take anything that they tweet seriously. If you see parentheses alpha male, you just assume that it's a joke. Much love to the alpha males, though. We even had Trevor jumping in. But for my dad, he's been a libertarian since before you were born. Libertarian as relation to being a Liberty fan. That's funny. That's humorous. I like that tweet. Solid tweet. How did the KC and JB Trap Phone matchup go? How close was it really? You have to stick around to the end to find out. Speaking of the alpha males, they were throwing their weight behind Miss Kathy. Now, Miss Kathy, strong competitor. Strong competitor going up against CJ. She showed that she really cared about this. She was really trying to win. She was making these arguments that she was probably the oldest competitor in the LTBC, which was amazing. She had a picture, which I didn't include, of a very nice picture of her at a game with the bell going hard. It's been really nice to see Miss Kathy really turn it up for this round. It's been very interesting. Now, There was a little uh drama is not the word I'm looking for. Little something happening with a scandal. There it is. A little scandal in the voting between Miss Kathy and Mr. CJ. And luckily, the fraud detection team, as I've already mentioned, they were right on top of it. They were watching closely. They were taking votes off and making sure their count was right and doing all this stuff. All that to say, everything was caught, everything was seen. This matchup ended up having over 1,000 votes when it was all said and done. But the fraud detection team was on top of it. They saw everything. They got everything. We're good. Our elections are secure, unlike America's. All right. Now, Optimus Ferg fired out this tweet talking about his gear, his vintage Liberty gear that he had. Now, this led to some very interesting things. Ian McCaw, not Ian McCaw, I should say, he was showing off a shirt that he got late 80s, early 90s was his guess. Miss Kathy, again, she was on fire today. Miss Kathy comes out with an early 80s President's Dining Room mug, which that thing is very cool. Very cool. It says Liberty Baptist College on there. I mean, that's a throwback right there. That's good. That's good stuff. Chad was feeling left out, so he just dropped a little selfie of himself at the golf course today into that thread. You know, we like to see you too, Chad. Don't feel left out. It's all right. Now, let's talk about Jesse and Liberty Mountain Views. Now, Jesse was coming out, firing off some tweets, had a Trump endorsement, as we see here. Big endorsement. He had a lot of quote tweets that he really worked hard on the graphics and made all this stuff. It was very impressive. Got those votes in. Liberty Mountain View's counter to that was to remind the good people of Twitter how frequently they use his gifts and such and things he's created for the Twitter community specifically. And it was a good campaign. I'm going to be honest. I did not realize the scope of things that he was responsible for. I already thought that he was responsible for a lot of things, but as he kept going and the list kept getting longer, I was like, wow, this man do be making gifts. Let me tell you, he do be making gifts. Now, I did receive this DM, as you can see, at 9:17 to 9:22. Jesse said that he was going to file a fraud claim. He was going to file a fraud claim because he was down a couple votes at the end, and then suddenly he jumped up. Now, let me tell you, the people in the fraud detection committee, they've been watching this closely. An internal investigation has occurred. Everything is above board. We're okay. My man Liberty Mountain Views was texting people furiously. I mean, furiously in the last 10 minutes of the round. Everything's above board. Everything's good. We're all clear. Let's check in on our man, Dion. Should have voted for me because I'm black. If it worked for Obama, it has to work for me. Who knows what Dion's doing out there? But we hope he's having a good time. He's entertaining us. He's out here living life. Now, this was something that was brought to my attention. Bill Powell had a big list of Liberty endorsements. Hit up the not Ian McCaw, said if he wins, he's excited to see the face reveal. To which not Ian McCaw posted a video of a woman, I'm assuming modeling. I don't know. She was just walking in a dress and said, if she asterisk wins, is this a commentary on our current social climate? Or have we been misinformed about not Ian McCaw the whole time? We may never know. We may never know. But these are the kind of sparks of intrigue that you can only get at the Liberty Twitter Bracket Challenge. All that to say, it's been 14 minutes. It's time to wrap it up. Here we are, the South Tower region. Caleb Wynn coming out with a W over not Ian McCaw. Now, we're going into the Elite Eight now. So just so everybody knows, there's the Elite Eight, the Final Four, and then we have the matchup of the century. It's actually just the matchup of the year. But the point is, it all comes down to two. But here we are, going into the Elite Eight. Caleb taking the W over not Ian McCaw. An unexpected victory, I'll be honest. I know that Caleb has the jokers behind him. He has many other friends behind him. He's made some good connections. I wasn't sure if anybody was going to come overcome not Ian McCall, but here we are. Optimus Ferg, Flames Advocate. Now, Flames Advocate did actually tweet out that he texted his mom, who did not have a Twitter account, or her mom, who did not have a Twitter account, to get them to vote in this thing, because as the tournament's gone on, they've realized that they actually do want to win this thing, and I appreciate that. I like seeing the internal mind of these competitors. They're realizing, oh, hey, you know what? I want to hold up that belt, and I like that. I like seeing that. You keep that energy coming. Take that into the Elite Eight. You got to bring it if you're gonna beat Caleb. Caleb's apparently got an army at his back, so it's gonna be a tough one. Now in the DeMoss Hall region, KC barely beats out JB Trap Phone. I mean, we are talking one vote. A singular vote is what propelled KC ahead. I will say I checked approximately 2 minutes before the end. It was tied. It was very close. I didn't know what was going to happen. But in the end, KC, a last-minute vote to break the tie, to take this man to the next round. That's excitement. That's excitement. Now, Nick Pretty and Turtle Power, I mean, listen, Pretty put up a good fight. But in the end, Turtle Power, I mean, he dropped a video for this. He pushed through shoulder surgery Valium. I don't know what to say. He shrugged that aside. That's a competitor right there. He's in it to win it. In the Green Hall region, we have Liberty Mountain Views coming out on top over Jesse. Jesse put up a good fight, was ahead towards the end. Liberty Mountain Views furiously texting everyone he knows, getting those last-minute votes in. Last-minute tide, pushed the tide in his direction. And last but not least, I mean, of course, Jeremiah coming out over Flamesball. Listen, Flamesball, I mean, I hate to say I'm sorry, but it's unfortunate. It's you come up against a guy like Jerry. A man has connections in 12 fan bases and 14 states. It's tough. It's gonna be tough to overcome him. He's a very nice guy. People like the nice guys. Last bracket here, Kathy did come out on top over CJ, even though CJ retired. I'm sure he would have given it to her if he won, but he didn't, and it wasn't particularly close. No offense, CJ. You did a great job, buddy. Miss Kathy, she's excited. She's got the fire going. She's ready for this Elite Eight matchup. Unfortunately, she's going up against a Liberty Flames staple named Cody. And this man, let me tell you, makes the cheer wine. This man, he makes the tailgates. He's got the bucket hats. I mean, I don't know where this matchup's going to go. I'm really curious to see who's going to pull it out. Kathy has the backing of the alpha males. Is that going to be the feather that tips the scales in her favor? I don't know. Let's see what happens. I'm excited to find out. Ladies, gentlemen, people of all ages, that was round 3. Rounds 4, 5, and 6 promise to be very exciting. I can't wait to see what happens. We love you. Enjoy your night. We will see you next round.